Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time nothing run here. The Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Man, oh man, what a weekend it has been. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today is going to be 3 X-Ray Kilo 9. Why? We've got 1.92 tiers, piercing shots, Curse of the Unknown or Curse of the Lost, and also the D Infinity, which is something that we haven't seen in a little bit anyway. But again, starting off with 1.92 tiers is it just makes you feel bad. Shot speed is also not great. Our movement speed is excellent, of course, thanks to Sagittarius, which is also giving us the piercing shots that we just got them talking about. And no, Sagittarius is not what I needed during that somewhat viral clip now of the of the infamous petrified poop / Card Against Humanity clip. Okay, well, I should have probably, I guess, picked up the Anarchist Cookbook, but whatever. So the D Infinity is going to be every single die except for the spin down die, which I feel like it should be the spin down die. I've tried to petition Zombolis for that, but I don't think that's going to happen. You can't use it for a very cheap reroll early on. It starts off with only a 2-room cooldown, which is very nice, reminiscent of the D1. But that does change as depending on which die you use. So obviously the D6, the 6-room cooldown. Same thing goes for the D20, and GB Bug is GB Bad. The GB in Game Breaking Bug stands for good, great, bad. That's what it stands for. Even though I've already defined it by saying Game Breaking Bug. Yeah, it's a very, very long weekend that I had with the Collecticon down here, which was a lot of fun but very tiring. I had to drive back and forth through downtown, not once but twice, and then there was like an after party and all kinds of stuff. And it's been a while since I've done an after party. You know, I'm not someone who really parties at all anymore. I used to a long time ago, but not anymore. And so it was just really weird after being sort of gone away from that culture to all of a sudden being kind of thrown back into it out of nowhere. It made me just sort of, it reminded me how much I don't like to go to bars anymore or clubs or anything like that, and be around like drunk people and stuff. Because man, there's something very irritating about being around drunk people when you're not also drunk. And it's something that I dealt with, of course, for a very long time as a bartender and a bouncer. It just wasn't fun, you know. I had fun just meeting new people. I mean, I met somebody who has more money than I will ever understand, and they were only this kid was barely almost 19 years old, and he had insane levels of money. And this was not at the bar, by the way. This was at the restaurant. And I'm like, man, that's like there's. I tweeted a picture of, by the way, if you're wondering why we turned into a Tainted Keeper there, it's because I used the reverse hangman. I tweeted a picture of three first edition Shadowless base set Charizard holograms, holographic cards. And the approximate valuation of those cards in total that were just laying in front of me that I got to hold and take a picture of was about maybe $95,000 to $100,000. Yeah, I'm scrunching my nose right now. You can't see me doing it, but it's just one of like, good Lord. And I had to take a picture of them just because I've never seen one in real life. Of course, everyone's seen a first edition Charizard, but never a Shadowless base set first edition, and never 3 of them at once. So that was definitely a treat, I guess, at dinner. But overall, it was very good. Thank you to everybody who came by and say hello. There's a few members of the Mosh Pit who did see my tweet when I told them I'd be there on Sunday. So that was really cool. Very long and tiring weekend, but it was worth it. One last week's question of the episode coming in from the Master Potato 3088. From the what are the worst 3 items to win with? This one said, question of the episode, if you had to play a run where you could only pick up items from one specific item pool, which one would you pick? That is, I think that's a pretty easy question for me because the answer should be obvious, but if you didn't know, it's going to be the Devil Deal. The Devil Deal provides you with everything that you would need to ever win a run, just hands down. It gives you the offense, it gives you the defense, it gives you the survivability. You even have some stat upgrades in there, even though they're not the best. They're not the best stat upgrades in general, especially when we're talking about replacing boss items like the Satanic Bible does, but it still has the most well-rounded amount of items that you can get in a pool. And if we're assuming that this is going to be a thing where we get to take one item every single floor instead of waiting for a percentage chance, then, and the reason why I bring that up is because Master Potato said listed off specifically treasure room, boss room, devil deal, or angel deal, or secret room. I'm assuming that means that we're getting one per floor. So in that case, I definitely would say devil deal. You have something like 9 lives for survivability. You have brimstone for offense. You have the pact for stats. Flying. It just makes everything. It gives you the opportunity to have everything. Now, obviously, if you cannot pick the items that you want on every single floor for this hypothetical, then I think that I would still leave it up to chance just to have the Devil Deal item pool just be my only pool. Just because again, it's so well rounded. You think about angel deals and you think about the angel pool. You're normally not going to have that many items that are going to be impactful, other than something like Revelation, Sacred Heart, Godhead, and that's about it. Maybe if you want to include Holy Shot or something like that, then sure, fine. I need to take my glasses off. They're kind of bugging me. But I think that overall the Devil Deal is just the safest play on that, and that's what I would go. We do have a reroll in here for either the boss room or the item room whenever we do find those, so that's good. Of course, we're going to use our first reroll in the Devil Deal in case we don't get something that we want. It was very nice. We got the pact on floor, or divorce papers on floor 1, as that does help our tears rate greatly. I've said the pact twice now. Now I've said it 3 times. Okay, let's stop getting hit here. Guppy's tail I will take. We have plenty of keys for now, so it's an early free Guppy item out of nowhere. Hypercoagulation is not terrible. It's certainly not what I want, but it's not terrible here. We've seen a pretty good amount of fun ways to utilize hypercoagulation, especially when you're talking about demon judgments. You can control the direction that the hearts fly out at, depending on the angle that Isaac is currently facing. Oh my gosh, we just got a whole bunch of items here. By items, I mean coins. Even a luck upgrade, which is going to be nice. We got a Joker card, okay. Okay, things are looking good. I don't want to start complimenting the game or anything. We also just got our key back, so we're back to 12 coins, despite us having Guppy's tail. Guppy's tail is going to spawn random chests at the end of every single room that we clear. Sometimes. At least let's phrase it this way. It spawns them at greater frequency. With Guppy's tail, but at the cost of you not getting keys, basically. You can get keys to drop, but they're very rare after a room clear reward. Decent damage here on Limehorn. And the Mosh Pit has slowly been bringing it back on Reddit. Wow, we got another Tears upgrade. The Mosh Pit has absolutely gone crazy with the memes, and I appreciate that, everybody. The memes were drying up for a while there for memes of the day, but now it's totally changed, and everyone's waking up here. So we get we do get the nail, which gives us one of 3 for Leviathan. But I have kind of a tricksy play here that I'm going to do. It's going to be kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it here. And I'm going to go buy this. I'm going to buy this full charge. And what I'm going to do, first off, I need to find the secret room, which might be here. That'd be a weird place for it. It's not there. It might be there. If it's not there, then I don't know where the hell it is. Maybe it's down here. Yeah, this is where it is. I should have probably known. So what I'm going to do for the play, the crazy play that I was talking about, is I'm going to use the Joker card again to go in here to get back into the Devil Deal, and I'm going to use the D-Sizzle, and we get Bloody Gust and Ghost Baby. The door is already closed, so we won't be able to come back in here. So I guess a free Bloody Gust is better than nothing. And then we get this charge key, so we can use it on the reroll. Let me go check to see if the Devil Deal. I don't know if the Joker card may have opened it. Again, I doubt it, but we can go check at least. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go back in here, and we're going to buy the potato peeler. Actually, no, we don't need to buy the potato peeler. Let's just go in here and use the D6, and yep. Hangman, I'm going to buy the key while we have a good amount of money. So it was worth attempt. I mean, it's those kind of plays you have to look at and really say, you know, at least we're giving ourselves opportunities. There's two benefits to doing what we just did, and I'll talk about that on the next floor. So the first benefit, obviously, is we're giving ourselves more chances to win by giving ourselves extra shots at Devil Deal items. That's number one. And that's a good way of thinking. That's a healthy way, a smart way of playing Isaac. The second advantage that we have created for ourselves now is that we've effectively eliminated some, let's say, not so great Devil Deal items. We won't have to worry about seeing Dark Arts anymore. We will not have to worry about seeing Seven Seals anymore. We've already taken Bloody Gust, obviously, which is not a bad item, but not a great item either, comparatively speaking anyway. And then we also, of course, have Ghost Baby, which is an item that is part of the Devil Deal. And who knows what kind of ramifications that will have further on in this run. You know, what items have we now pushed to the front of the queue in terms of Devil Deal items now that we've eliminated 4 items that we pretty much don't want from the pool. And that kind of stuff is you know, recognizing that kind of advantage is also very unique to a game like Isaac, where you can really play against what the game is either trying to design to do for your run in particular, or just making yourself just a better player overall. It allows you to kind of understand how to think about games, not just Isaac in general, but just the broader vision of video games. You know, thinking outside the box, looking at things from a little bit of a more positive perspective, and really focusing your efforts into saying, hey, that was a good play. Let's go ahead and make another play now. And, you know, the elimination of bad or mediocre Devil Deal items is potentially huge. It really just kind of depends on what the seed gives you, obviously. But the point is, we've put ourselves in a better position than we were on the last floor. I honestly did not expect the Super Secret Room to be there. And I did halfway kind of expected another Guppy item there. So we end up getting a random Fate from this golden chest, which was real nice. We get Flying, we get an Eternal Heart, which is good. So we can now go into this first room for half price anyway. There we go. Get our money's looking very, very healthy. We could use the D Infinity to reroll the enemies, which wouldn't be a bad thing if we were in a really, really big pickle of a room. But I think with us having Flying, even though our damage is not fantastic, we're still going to be able to get through everything. And of course, Piercing Shots just helps out a lot because the enemies decide to stack on each other. Pop in for the Mob Trap room. I don't think it's really worth using a key for that. And then also condemning ourselves for the next 3 rooms to be stuck in there. Next 3 encounters, anyway. Rather use the key to get into the shop, which gives us Brittle Bones. Now, Brittle Bones is huge because that gives us 6 bone hearts that we can destroy. Every time one of those bone hearts are destroyed, we end up giving ourselves a huge tears upgrade, a permanent tears upgrade of that. Ace of Hearts, eh. I will take Tarot Cloth, though, for another Tarot card, and we're going to get a High Priestess. So now we have a very good opportunity to absolutely destroy the Tears Cap while also getting rid of enemies in the process. Just do this. And this may seem wasteful, but it's worth it when you start looking at our Tears rate going insane. And obviously part of that is because of Bloody Gust. But we get to keep all of those. We get to keep basically all of those Tears rate ups that we just got done getting, except for the ones that we got via Bloody Gust. I am going to come back in here, and there's the left hand again. We'll absolutely take that. Then we have that leftover Bone Heart as well from Divorce Papers. So from here on out, any Bone Hearts that we destroy are going to give us permanent Tears upgrades, even if they weren't part of the conversion when we picked up Brittle Bones. So Brittle Bones is just an amazing item. You know, if you needed HP, of course you can keep the Bone Hearts, but I always usually opt to getting the Tears upgrade. There you go. So our true Tears rate is now 5.92, which is really, really, really strong. Okay, game. Yeah. Sanguine Bond is... eh. Black Kando, however, is very nice. Now, Bloody Gust will give you a temporary movement speed and Tears upgrade for the floor. It's kind of like it's a Tears and movement speed upgrade version of Bloody Lust whenever you take damage, and you get the stacking damage bonus for the entire floor. I doubt the secret room is here, but we don't have any bombs anyway, and I don't feel like coming back over here. If we're trying to make boss rush, which is still an outside chance, and we get a lot of soul hearts here. We even get ourselves a bone heart, which we can just get rid of by taking damage, and again, that's going to give us another permanent Tears upgrade. That right there. Now again, it is a little skewed because we have bloody Gust, but it's still worth it. And the combination of us having Guppy's tail along with the left hand is now going to give us pretty much a guaranteed shot at Guppy. A little Gish, little Gishy, little Gishy. I'm gonna pass on the claw machine, and it's gonna be a greed fight. By greed fight, I mean he's just going to kind of stand around while we pelt him with tears. Let's see if we can get anything useful out of here. We get a one-tapper on the friend ball. If we can get 3 item pedestals here, that would be awesome, because then we can re-roll it with the D-Sizzle. Spider Mod, and then, yeah, Suplex. I like Suplex, but not here. Yeah, there we go. So we get 3 item pedestals that we're going to be able to re-roll. We get 3 bombs, which we absolutely needed. And the regular secret room is here. See, now this is where I'm not going to use keys to get those red chests, because they probably won't have anything that we care about. Speaking of 3 items that we don't care about. Now, I don't believe there's going to be enough. We probably will not have enough encounters here to actually give us a full charge on the D-Sizzle. It's going to be close. Let's look at our tears rate right now. It is smoking. Yeah, that pretty much killed it. If that double room had had combat in there, we definitely would have gotten it. Okay, well, now the game is just making fun of us, so... yeah, we just needed 1 combat room, and we would have had a full charge, but nope. Not going to happen here. There's a Demon Judgment, which we could maybe play. There's a double stomp there on Mega Fatty, thanks to the Tarot Cloth plus High Priestess. We get another Bone Heart. Wow. And absolutely, we're going to be taking Death's Touch. I don't care about Succubus. Wow. Yeah, that's just more and more tears that we're getting here. Now, unfortunately, we've kind of robbed ourselves of being able to play the Demon Judgment. But we can maybe get an HP upgrade here. We'll see if we can maybe finagle a double deal item here. We'll just have to be real quick on the draw for the hypercoagulation drops here. Just testing my accuracy of movement here. At least we have the movement speed to be able to do this. Normally we would not be able to catch up to these, and we're just going to get more movement speed here. Okay. That's fine. There is an Ace of Hearts all the way down there, but I can't be bothered to go get it. Now our true tears rate, even after the tears down that we got from Death's Touch, is 6.39, which is really, really incredible. All these chests are red because of the left hand. The only bad part about that is now our economy is kind of slowed to a crawl because, well, we're not picking up any golden chests or steel chests. But once we get Guppy, we can just easily drop the left hand. Our DPS is excellent right now, thanks to our tears rate. And since it's early enough, we can re-roll that and get that. Golden Teleporter really kind of fell off for me. A little interesting animation there. Ooh, wow. SMB Superfan inside the claw machine. Now, that would be one thing that I consider dropping the left hand for temporarily anyway on this floor. So we can afford to play that claw machine, because SMB Superfan is a fantastic upgrade. One of the few true all stats up in the game. We need some moolah though. It's a little bit of a risk of us not having the left hand, only because we're trying to get Guppy, obviously. But I think the payoff with it, with the payoff being the possibility of getting SMB Superfan, which is a huge momentum swing for us. It's more, not really a momentum swing. It's more of us getting stronger. Yeah, the rich get richer. No, I'm desperately tired of Tech X. We don't need piercing. We have piercing here with Death's Touch. We already had it with Sagittarius. So, kind of over Tech X right now. Get a massive boost here in our Devil Deal chance. And let's see if we get lucky. No. We get some more money here. We did get our keys back, so it's not that big of a deal for the Russian nesting doll chests. Take a stab at maybe a good tarot card or something, or a heart. Yeah, we'll take it. Empress would be nice. It's been real nice on that rock bottom run. Going here, it's greed fight, and hopefully he gives us a lot of money. And he did, 25 cents. Well, yeah. I will take that. Thank you, greed. That's super greed to you. That right there, that's the only reason why the game gave us a quarter right there, was to make me look like an idiot. To get our hopes up. Sinvicta Vodka doesn't exist. It's all recency bias. Okay. We're not going to get SMB Superfan, are we? You're just gonna let it sit there and just never pay out? Is that what you're gonna do, game? Unbelievable, isn't it? Isn't it? Sure is. You would believe it. You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it for yourself. And don't worry, your old buddies Invictus got you. Don't you worry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's some good old-fashioned Invicta luck right there. Somebody run the numbers, Jamie, if you could, please. Somebody run the numbers on the chances of that happening, because I would sure love to know. Gonna get goat head here. And let's go back, because apparently money is just not going to matter anymore. And I was a fool to even think that we would have a legitimate shot at getting it, but there you go. Bon appetit. Yep. Yep. The same people who are laughing their heads off right now are the same people who love crawl runs. They just revel in the glory of my unbelievable luck. I really do think that no one would ever believe me unless if it was on like camera or video or whatever you want to call this. Like, come on, there's no way someone could be that unlucky. Oh, but there is. If anything in life, at least I can just remind other people how lucky they are. If my one purpose in life is to just let everyone know, like, hey, you know what? It could always be worse. Get some bad rolls, get some bad beats in poker, you know, whatever. Sell at a bad time. You know what? It can always be worse. We have piercing shots. I guess we'll take lost contact. Well, we know this is not going to be a greed fight, but we don't have any money to actually spend, so I think what I'm going to do is just put the money back in and be on our way. All right, at least we have brittle bones. Brittle bones will allow us to continue to build our tiers rate. And if we really hate the run, we can also just re-roll it with the D4. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the run, obviously. Hopefully we get a decent damage upgrade here from the Devil Deal. We'll have one re-roll as well. Maybe could have snuck another re-roll, but by using the Fool card and getting out of there, but yeah. Gonna take the Polaroid, and it's a Krampus fight, and I feel totally justified now. We'll take a lump of coal, and we'll head on down. I now foresee this run to not even get Guppy. I think the only Guppy item we're going to get was the random Guppy's tail. And despite even having the left hand and re-rolls, I feel like we are not going to get it. Just call me kooky, call me crazy. I've been called worse, I promise. The virus is just going to give us another permanent speed upgrade. 2 boss items out of here, which is nice. And theoretically nice. We could take Spun here, I guess. We lost 0.5 tiers. But we did gain damage. But that was mostly due to the fact that we got Spun. Yeah, that damage gets sick, nasty, crazy. You see how easily we're able to kill Gluttony there. That's after the lump of coal multiplier kicks in. And it's a doozy. Especially when combined with Death's Touch and piercing shots and everything else. I mean, it adds more cherry on top, so to speak, of the Isaac dessert. There is Lusty Blood. And we get the Pact. I will take the Pact. This is basically a free damage upgrade there with Sin Robes. Skolek should definitely not be a problem here at all. He might die in the air the first jump. He almost did. There we go. We don't need shot speed, but I'll take this for the tarot card at least. And we got a strength card, which we could use for the next Devil Deal, assuming we get one. I mean, we're going to get one, but that's because we have Goat Head. And just to prove the point, I'm going to hold on to the left hand all the way through the chest. I think the writing has been foretold. It's on the wall. This probably goes all the way back to me saying it's pretty much a guaranteed guppy on floor 2 or whatever that was. I was a fool again. I let the game know what my plan was. You'd think I would have learned by now. We don't need keys anymore. I'm not gonna drop the left hand. I will take the soul hearts though. That was some kind of schmoove right there. The physics always get messed with when you're talking about slowing shots. No, I can't be bothered. I mean, we had our fair share of good luck here in this run. The back-to-back tiers upgrades, then followed by Brittle Bones, was huge. Guppy's Tail has helped us more than hurt us here, which is also kind of a rarity. And piercing shots plus shielded tiers is also extremely good. For defense, you know, it hadn't been a bad run. It could have been a slightly better run with SMB Superfan. I'll take 9 lives. Hey, look, game, prove me wrong. I would like for you to prove me wrong here. We get 9 lives. Can re-roll that if we don't have anything in the Devil Deal to re-roll. And we're going to completely negate all of Mom's Heart's shots. Get D-Bizzle. D-Bizzle. All right, you can come down the. Come on down, D-Bizzle. We have some red hearts for you. We also have. I might want to try to get that a reroll on the Curse of the Tower because I mean that is a chance for Guppy. Okay. Backtrack. Let's go get these red hearts. D-Bizzle can give us a pill. Also, I haven't given enough credit to where credit's due that we got that early black candle out of nowhere on the reroll. That was also pretty clutch. That's the reason why we haven't seen any curses here. There we go. And let's see if we can get anything out of this curse room. Can. There's only one red door in here. If I'm looking at the map, the only real spot we're looking at an ultra secret room is right here. So let's get out of this room. Ironically, we have to come back here. Use the soul cane, and it's not in here. But it did give us another reroll. Searching for the ultra secret room. And let's go see if this is going to do it for us here. I am going to go back and take the strength card just because, again, we're going to get a devil deal item in the chest thanks to the left hand. And let's see if the reroll was worth it. It was not. I've had Tame Impala's song Dracula stuck in my head all weekend. I heard it once at the con, and that was it for me. I was cooked after that. It's crazy once I started, if you recall a couple months ago when I started first talking about Tame Impala, I was like, you know what? I've never even heard of this guy, and he's awesome. And since that episode, what's crazy is that now I feel like I've seen him all over the place on my For You page, that's not, of course, the microphones are always listening. But still, like, I hear him on the radio now, and I see, like, the collabs that he's doing and the remix covers that famous artists are doing. It's like, what the heck, man? It's almost like it feels like I manifested it into existence now. You know, it's like not seeing a well, we got Guppy. Well, thank you, game. You say, like, oh, you know what? I haven't seen a red car in a long time. You really don't see this color red anymore, or something like that. And then all of a sudden, you just start seeing them everywhere. You know, there's got to be some kind of phenomena, some kind of term for that phenomena, which obviously you're not manifesting anything because it's not possible. But it's along the lines of, I guess you're just noticing things more. You know, it's like when I was growing out my hair and I was talking about how, I didn't like how it seemed like I was losing hair. And people were saying, well, it's because your hair was growing long and it's more noticeable then. Feels like that's kind of the same effect. Which is not the Mandela effect, but a secret room here out of nowhere. Wow, this is too tempting not to reroll here with an item pedestal inside of the secret room, which is very, very rare. On top of the fact that we're already in the cathedral, which is even more rare that we have an item in there. I'm not trying to rhyme, I swear. I know Isaac isn't over here. I'm just kind of trying to clear. So we get the full charge. We're absolutely moving. What? We get Mega Mush. I don't know if we're going to get... We already got Guppies, so we might as well take Mega Mush here. What I was going to say is I don't know if we're going to get another reroll opportunity here on this floor. Ebizzle, you have not dropped a single soul heart yet. I would like to point that out, sir. We're just going to walk right over Isaac, literally. During the Mega Mush transformation, you are completely invulnerable to damage. And if you combine it with something like, say, Car Battery, it makes it even that better. Yeah, we'll take the Soul of Isaac. It gives us another reroll. One more chance. Get more raw damage there, and I do want Twisted Pair as well. We got the Leviathan transformation. That's the reason why we didn't die. We get the Mind as well. I shall take the Mind. Then we are going to die. That's okay. We have enough damage here and survivability to pretty much beat anything in the game except maybe like a very tanky boss or something like Delirium. Our mobility is excellent. Ebizzle's payout skills are not. Got ourselves a good run, though. That one was real nice. I'll take another one of them. The eternal words of George Carlin. Give me another one of them. That one's real nice. If you know that reference, post them in the comments. I'd love to see who the George fans out there are. Take the Soul Heart here. We did not get an item out of our chest inside of the secret room, even though we should have. Get Guppy's head just for super Guppy measures now. I think we're only missing the hairball and Guppy's collar. Ebizzle still has not. Oh, no, he may have paid out. He may have paid out with that black heart. Okay. Well, we got ourselves the dub here, everybody, and you're going to witness basically a perfect parry of Blue Baby here, since he's not allowed to throw out any single projectiles because of the piercing shots and the shielded tiers. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great start to your Tuesday. Remember, check out Mugenics if you haven't already, and I have been posting Pocopia content on the gaming account. You can check the link down below if you'd like to subscribe to that channel as well. And, of course, if you're not already subscribed here to the main channel, hey, we'd love to have you in the mosh pit. Click the follow button, like button, all that kind of good stuff, as well as ring the notification bell so you get notified when my daily videos go live here on YouTube. And speaking of which, here's your daily meme of the day, brought to you by Seadog on the Invicta subreddit. Title of the thread was Why I Never Take Libra, and in the thread they said, well, nothing, but in the meme they said, Libra fans, when their damage and tiers get reduced by half. Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's a little disingenuous because obviously you know your stats are going to get balanced, but it's the speculative upgrades you get from Libra. That's the real value there. So thank you very much, Seadog, everyone who upvoted that one. Thank you everyone who's been submitting new memes of the day on the subreddit. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Nitzan Harrell, Rickru59, and Nate Meldick. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.